Welcome back. You're watching Startup Central with me, Nayantara Rai, working from home. This is the only show of its kind on Indian television dedicated to startups, innovation, technology, disruption. Time now for our next guest. It's an app called Groww, which is in the business of mutual fund distribution. So you can buy SIPs, you can buy mutual funds directly for as cheap as 100 rupees. You can also invest in the stock market. It's gone in for a fundraise, raised 220 crore rupees from a clutch of existing investors that include the likes of Sequoia as well as Y Combinator's growth fund. Here's that conversation. Now, digital payments have really taken off in India. You've heard the government talk about the record UPI transactions that are being carried out. Data does suggest that we've got more than 150 million active Indians using digital payments. But guess how many out of them are active for stock markets and mutual funds in particular? 20 million, which basically means that the market is massive and is big enough for more than one player. You've seen a lot of action on this front. True Beacon, Zerodha became a unicorn recently. Then earlier this week, Paytm Money finished 2 years, celebrated its second birthday, announcing that it's got 6.6 lakh Indians using the platform for mutual funds. And my next guest is also growing, and I'm going to use a pun here. Groww is growing. It has closed a 220 crore rupee Series C fundraise. I'm now joined by the founder, Lalit. Hi, Lalit. Thanks so much for joining us here on this edition of Startup Central. 220 crore rupees during a pandemic. Existing investors participating. You already a batch of 2018 Y Combinator, which sets you apart, and now you've managed to make sure the growth fund of Y Combinator also puts money on the table when it comes to Groww. How has this fundraise experience been during the pandemic and all of it being done virtually?
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting. The experience was very different. So far we have raised A round, B round, and then C round before this. And those all happened when you could meet people. Over the last 5 months, we have been working 100% from home, and all the meetings and everything had to happen on either Zoom calls or on Google Hangout and so on. So it was a very different experience. What helped was existing relations with these set of investors that really kind of helped.
So did you start the fundraise exercise post lockdown, and then did that do anything for your valuations, or were you in dialogue pre-lockdown and therefore that also then had an impact on valuations?
So we started fundraising post the lockdown. And the talks about valuations were independent with respect to this pandemic and so on. The company has seen a good great growth trajectory over the last 1 year since we raised B round. So yeah, if that answers your question.
So what do you plan to do with all of this 220 crore rupees? I would imagine is to grow your business, but in which direction are you growing it? Are you planning more products, adding more services?
Yes, precisely. So we are going to invest further on the product. So today you can invest in mutual funds and stocks on Groww. We also launched gold, so people can also buy digital gold. We are in process of launching international equity. So investors would be able to buy stocks of companies like Amazon, Google directly from India, right? So that is already kind of in pipeline next couple of months. This is already kind of invite-only mode. The next two products that we are working on is we'll be launching derivatives. And on the other side of this spectrum of risks, we'll be launching fixed interest products, like bonds, corporate deposits, and so on. So idea is to basically build a single platform where you can invest in any product that you want and diversify your wealth.
So you're planning to offer this overseas equity opportunity is right now, I would imagine, in a beta mode, invite only. What has that response been like?
It's crazy. It's like people resonate with those companies, right? Because they use those products, like all this Amazon, Netflix, Google, Facebook, right? So investors already know about those companies. So there is, of course, some excitement about investing in these companies. Then there are Teslas and Spotify of the where very new companies kind of
So the excitement is for the NASDAQ companies, is basically what you're trying
yeah,
to tell me, the big tech companies.
big tech
But it's going to be, it's going to come with a lot of responsibility as far as regulations also go. You know, there are curbs on how much you're allowed to invest overseas, repatriate how much you can in a year. So you're going to have to do it very responsibly and have all your checks and balances in place. Have you done that?
Yes, yes, of course. So not just this, and if you look at all our businesses, right, mutual funds, stocks, and all. So this involves people's hard-earned money, and there is a regulator which is like a pro-investor, and we are also like pro-customer, right, pro-investor. So you need to kind of be careful about all the aspects of regulations there. Just to give an example, since we're talking about US equities, there is a LRS scheme where you can invest up to $250,000 in international equity, right? So
Yeah.
those things need to be accounted for. There is process of remittance. So yeah, you're right. You need to be very careful about all those aspects as well. And compliance actually takes a lot of investments as well in launching all these products.
What is your differentiator? Because you know a lot of the products that you're talking about are already being offered by new age companies as well. Some others are also being offered which you are not in yet. What differentiates Groww? What is your USP? Why should someone come on Groww and not, let's say, on Paytm Money or Zerodha?
See, everybody is solving this problem in a different way, and our approach has been focused on just two important things. One is make things simple, right? And by simple we mean making the entire user experience very seamless, and also educating customers about all different kind of products. So we don't advise, by the way. That is one very big difference. We have zero advisory. We have provided all the products, mutual funds, stocks, and so on, very openly available to the customer. We have made it very simple, right? And the second part is the transparency. So let's say if you want to invest in a mutual fund, and if you go to Grow's app or website, you will see the end-to-end information, right? Whatever you need at one single place, you will have a lot of tools to help you decide, whether you should invest in this product or not, and so on. And then with tap of a button, you can execute those orders and track them whenever you want. So these are the two very important points where we are like paranoid, like we focus on like crazy to get this for the customer.
How many users do you already have? What is your percentage of the market share? How are you increasing that?
So it's difficult to tell the percentage of market share because you don't know the exact number of people. There are always rough numbers. So today we have more than 8 million registered users on the platform, and they use the platform in different ways. And it has been growing. Most of the users come because when you use the platform, you talk about it to your friends, and then they come and so on. So now we are very popular among investors in India.
You don't offer advisory, you don't offer any tips and all of that. I take that point, but are you getting into the business also of educating investors? Because if you're going to try and grow the market, you're going to have to rely a lot, maybe, I'm guessing, on first-time investors.
Yes. So more than 2/3 of our investors are actually first-time investors, and we invest a lot in educating the customers since the start. Right, we have been putting a lot of time and money in building content for educating investors. And in fact, towards the start of this year, we started a program called Ab India Karega Invest, which is like now India will invest. And this was program designed to go. We used to have meetups in smaller cities. We have done this across cities like Patna, Indore, Lucknow, Kanpur, and those kind of cities. We'll go there. We will talk to meet up with investors. With like 400, 500 folks coming, and we'll talk about mutual funds, stocks, personal finance, and so on. Unfortunately, because of pandemic, we had to move everything online, and now that Ab India Karega Invest happens 100% online, and that is even bigger success than the offline event, because now 15,000 people can attend one event and ask questions and so on. So yes, I think we have been very, very kind of focused on education since the beginning.
Okay, but if you're going to see enlargement of the market, you're going to have to also offer products where the average transaction is small. Are you moving towards that front at all? What is the average ticket transaction size right now on Groww? And do you offer products where it can be small amounts?
Yeah, so that's the beauty of, I think, these retail products like mutual fund and stocks, right? When I started investing when I was in school, in college, right, I started with 80 rupees. So even mutual funds today, for example, some mutual funds have reduced the transaction size to like 100 rupees, right? But being said that, like even large transactions happen on online platforms now, right? People have got comfortable with UPI.